Hello everybody, my name's Rebecca. Welcome to my channel, and this is my third attempt at trying to film this video for you. If you've been here before, you might have been wondering where I've been. Normally I will have posted by now, it's September 3rd as I'm filming this, I would have posted my Book of Shadows, setting up my Tarot and Oracle pages for the upcoming month, and I also would have posted my September setup. And obviously that hasn't happened yet. And that is because I threw a wrench into my system, and that wrench goes by the name of Beautiful Yellow Filofax that I always wanted, and now I have one. I can't say I'm really surprised that I have a new system. I never fully felt like my system was exactly what I wanted, and I haven't quite worked out all the kinks. There were some things I didn't really like, and it's September. It's always this time of year when I start to be like, I'm bored, I need new systems, blah. What happened was, during the month of August, I started taking bookings for readings. I am a professional intuitive reader. You can check out the links of where you can find me. Most of my information's on my Facebook page. All that information is down in the description box. My life got a lot busier. I've started reading, I've started taking bookings, and I was preparing for my son to go to homeschooling and work on that balancing now. And all of this around my husband's schedule. When it came time to time tracking, I really didn't feel like my bullet journal was cutting it, and I tried. Here's a setup I did, and I hated it. I hated the look of it. I also tried in a different book doing some times on the side with my list for the day, and I also hated that. I just really didn't feel like it was adequate anymore. So I brought a childhood dream to life. Yes, I was one of those children who always wanted a Filofax, and now I have one. So what I did was, all of my planning, the main core of what a bullet journal system is, without any of the frills, goes in here. My planning, the things I want to track, the things I want to know about, all of that stuff goes here. And then in my Book of Shadows is still containing all of the things spiritual related, path related. The difference being, I'm adding things. I did still set up my cards for the month of September. My cards are the Four of Pentacles and Amaterasu. So I did still set up my pages. And I set up these pages, and at the time I wasn't sure what was going to happen with my Book of Shadows. I even set up a little page and tried the intro, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I didn't want to repeat all of my, I didn't want to rewrite out all of my trackers. So what I've done is I cut out my yearly trackers for the beginning. I hole punched them and put them in my Filofax, which you'll see in a second. I'm using this for trying to just journal a little bit just trying to journal one page every day. And that's how I'm attempting to use this up. I might not stick to that. I always eventually fill my notebooks though. The sentimental stuff is now going into here, which I wanted to get to a point where I was doing all of my stuff in one book to begin with. So I'm happy about this. I don't want that many pieces to my system. I want it all simple, and I'm still figuring out how they will all fit together. So I did set up a page because I really love the artwork behind it. So I wrote September. I wrote shining and celebrating changes and shifts, owning my success, which is what I think my cards are about. And I drew a bunch of pentacles, and then I wrote some keywords. The spread that is in here is it's a combination of my Moon and Me tracker and my Moon manifestation calendar. Videos about those can be found up above in the cards. So we have the dates, where the moon is, like what sign it's in. If there's 2 signs, it was transitioning from one to another. So currently, in my time zone and where I live in the world, the moon started off the day in Pisces and moved into Aries. The moon phase, the cycle day, my cycle I'm on, if there's any other transits going on astrologically, and then I write down what I want to manifest for that day here. So that's what's going on in here, and then I'm just continuing filling it like normal. I love it. I'm still struggling to remember because it's new, but I'm really liking it. And then this has all of my core planning guts and all of the spreads and trackers and things that I'm okay with recycling. This is an A5 Domino Soft Filofax. It does have a pen mark, which that ink transferred from my hand to this, not a pen. So for the Sunflora Fairy, you may have noticed recently I changed my intro. And in that intro, there's a picture of me wearing my beautiful, beautiful witch hat. And when I got that witch hat, which is a technical custom duplicate of a previous hat she made, I'll link that Etsy shop. It's Kira's Magical Spindle. She's amazing. She asked me to give her a name for my hat. And I came up with the Sunflora Fairy. And this felt like so much a rite of passage. It felt like a claiming a part of myself. It felt like a claiming the core of myself. So you will probably notice some gradual branding happening here on the channel. And this is part of that. So I wanted to title and have my title be This My Sunflora Fairy. This is me. How beautiful is that sunflower? I drew that. It's the first realistic flower I've ever drawn, and I'm so freaking proud of it. This is the plastic lifter thingy dashboard that came in the Filofax. On the other side, I cut out the yearly dedication, and I stuck it here. This was in the front of my bullet journal. These plastic things, I get the Witch's Moon subscription box, again linked in the description box below, and whenever a piece of A5 artwork comes in it comes in the sleeve. I save them because I like to recycle, and now that I have my Filofax, it's perfect. So I hole punched it, and I'm using these pockets for any more permanent fixtures that I want in here. It's not acting as a pocket, it's acting as like a holder, a sleeve, and for the things I don't want to hole punch. This is my goddess Tara, at least my main one, and she is the mother of all Buddhas. And on the back is her prayer of motivation. Then we have my first tab. My tabs are from off of Amazon. Not everything lines up perfectly. I did this a cheap Rebecca hacking way where I just used shit I had and threw it all together, and I'm fine with it. I actually really love it. So you have my inbox section. The paper I'm using is paper from my Citrus Book Bindery book, which I started the year with. It is in a couple videos, but it broke and I tried fixing it. Anyways, in my inbox section, what I have is, this is basically my brain dump section, where I just write down all of my random lists I need to write down, which I can tend to later and move to the correct sections. Just some empty pages. Then I have my future log. On the front of this, I just wrote, let your hopes, not your hurts, shape your future. I'll have to look up the attribution and add it into the comments or subtitle it something, because I forgot to write it down. And then we have my future log. This is my Calendex, which I've been using for years, and I love the system of it. I've adapted it, so what I do is, instead of writing it in my dailies, because my dailies aren't really numbered now, I go to my list, I write the next number in the sequence, I write the next number that I'm up to, write down all the details, and then put the number in the box. So I know this is item 1. So that's how I'm working that Calendex. I have added a perpetual calendar. When it comes to setting up my Calendly calendar, I found I've wanted to have more like holidays because I want to make sure I'm taking days off when I want to. So perpetual calendar, and then just the paper you just saw in the extras. The next 2 sections I can't show you everything of because I have some confidential client information and I will not jeopardize that. I will show you what I can, and I've done like a mock-up so I can talk to you and like tell you how the system works, even though I can't show you specifics. So this is my monthly section, and you can tell already, like, this is not frills, this is not fancy, this is very simple and clean and purely for planning. When I come down to do this, I really need to just focus. So September, in this is my schedule, which you are used to seeing. It does have clients' names, only their first names, but still the sections are the same as you've always seen: morning, afternoon, and evening, and then the tasks and stuff. This is, the Filofax was dated, so it came with the sheets, and I'm using my whiteout to redate them, so that way I don't waste. So this is where my daily stuff happens. What I've done is, like I said, I've done a little mock-up for you. So, my bookmark card, every month in the Witch's Moon subscription box, you get a personalized oracle reading. And it used to sit up on my altar, and then I put it in my Book of Shadows whenever I get my next box. So I got my box yesterday. So I took the oracle card that was here, I pasted it in my Book of Shadows, and I journaled and reflected on it. These cards used to sit on my altar, but I'm trying to be more intentional and work on reestablishing parts of my practice that through the summer kind of fall through the wayside. And part of that is I have this beautiful Filofax that I look at all the time. What an amazing way to use these cards and look at them every day. So this is my new card that I just got. And this would be my next week spread. So this is how I do appointments. I use my color code and I kind of bracket the time. And I write my appointments here. So I have the timed out weekly view of all my appointments, so I can have that visual that I was really missing. Then I flip to the back, I grab a sheet of this dotted paper, I stick it here, and that's where I do my dailies. So my dailies are all right in the middle of my week view, so no matter what, even by the end of the week, I can still very quickly flip, especially because the paper is a different texture. I love how it's working. This index card is here to talk to you about another element for my work. Here I have my first top tab, because I do have top tabs and side tabs, and the top tabs were made from the dollar store binder tabs. So I made them so they're not cut perfectly, they don't line up perfectly, but I just really don't care that much to repunch them right now. So in the bookings tab, whenever someone books an appointment, I get their index card, I pick it by color code, I write their information on it, the information I need, and then it stays there until the week comes up. When I'm finishing setting up this week, I will go to the bookings tab, which you're about to see, and I will grab all of the bookings cards for that week. I grab them, I stick them in here, so I have all my information for my week right here, and I don't have to worry. And then once they're done, I take it out, I make any notes on it, and I file it. And then the rest of it is just the pages. That gets me to my work tab, and I can show you some of it. So first I have this pocket. This is the pocket that came with these tabs, and I thought it was good to have a pocket with work. These index cards are potential bookings that don't have a date yet. I have my stats page. This is my first time tracking stats. So for my Patreon, my Facebook page, my YouTube, and my Instagram, I wrote the start. I will write them at the end and what the difference is. These pages are my trackings for what posts I'm doing. So I'm hoping to, as many days as possible. The idea is to get to every day posting, but we're working on it. To write down and to post on my different social medias every day. And part of my being able to develop that habit and be accountable for that is this, where I'm writing down what the title of my posts are. So on the first, a public Patreon post I made was Starting September with Justice. A patron-only post I made was August Tarot and Oracle, a Reflection. For Facebook, same things. YouTube and bookings, which I need to write one in. Don't know what to put here. The client calendar, which I will not be showing you. This is a section I've created for my repeat clients. So anyone who's had a reading and comes back, if they allow me to take down some of their information, then I will email them a birthday freebie. So this is where I put my birthday freebies. This blue page is my mailing list for the people who want to remain on the contact list for my full moon circle I hold via Zoom right now. And that on the back of it is my weekly posts. So I have certain things I post every week. So I want to try and actually remember that, so I made that up. And that brings us to our bookings tab. So this is where those index cards come in. My color code is blue is for astrology, pink is for crystal, and yellow is for tarot. Anytime I book one of these types of readings, I grab that color index card, I write the client's name, I write the type of reading they've booked, the date and time they booked it for, where they found that reading, like was it from an ad, was it from Small Business Saturday, was it just from my Facebook page, if they're a first-time client, and then a little mini checklist, like did I send a thank you message, did they want a recording, did they get the recording, did they leave a review on my Facebook page. And then these are the cards that I take them when they're done and I stick them in the weekly when it comes up. My planning section is loose scribbly notes about ideas and stuff for my business, which I'm developing, so you don't get to see that either. And then this last section, referrals. Again, not going to show you anyone's private information. However, these are where I'm using the contact pages from that came with the Filofax. So what it is if I'm working with someone and they say they had this really interesting dream and they'd love a dream interpretation. Well, I don't do dream interpretations. My friend does. So this referral section is precisely where I can write down my friends or contacts, my networked people I know who offer certain spiritual services. So if I'm unavailable for something, I can refer my clients to someone who might be able to help them out. The next section we have is Cameron, which is my son. And this is just a place mostly for notes because he is homeschooling, unschooling type stuff now. So he wanted to learn about dinosaurs, so I just blurbed a list. Another random list. These are the life skills I want to work on. We've chosen nutrition and eating for September, so I've added that month. And then here's where I did a bit of a breakdown list for that goal. Then we have my reference section. I stuck another one of these tabby guys, or one of these sleeve guys, which I don't know what I'm gonna use it for yet. I'll think of something, I'm sure. Herbs, I have started a herbalist course and studying herbs, so I'm sure this will get filled, but right now it's not. Then we have astrology. So this reference section is for whenever I was doing readings, I would have my Book of Shadows here with my current notes, my old Book of Shadows with my previous notes, my bullet journal with it, like too many books all over the place. So I gathered all, and at this point, I only need a little bit of information about the zodiac and astrology specifically to just start riffing because I am deep in it. So we have the signs, the planets, the houses, other points, which kind of act like planets, and the aspects. There will be more aspects filled in, but I'm focusing on these ones. Then we go into my crystals. These are the crystals I'm using as a crystal reader. I do offer crystal readings. If you're interested, don't forget my information, my social medias, particularly my Facebook page. It is linked down below in the description, and you can get all sorts of more information. So each stone, to attune to it, I write, and this is based on my I did take a crystal reader certification course. So from my teacher's recommendation, I write what the crystal's for, and I use Judy Hall's Crystal Bible. And then the rest of these are feelings and things I get from the crystal. So what I feel, hear, or see, what it means to me if someone is called to it, and any notes. And then the back page is where I can write out any crystal channelings I am doing, or any more notes that I think of when I'm working with this crystal. So I have one for each crystal. See, there's quite a few. And then here, this is another one of those oracle cards. So I got this card a few months ago, I think, and I didn't want to stick it in my Book of Shadows because A, it's got writing on both sides, and B, I didn't feel like I was done with it. Very similarly, that Monarch card at my beginning will not be going in my Book of Shadows. That's staying with me always. And it's Unakite, which I have in my kit. So I thought how perfect to hole punch it and stick it here with my Unakite with my kit. Next we have my goals section. It is still empty, but it is basically the place where I will be breaking down the goals and stuff I want to be currently working on from my power sheets. I do use power sheets. I don't know why, but it's felt very private, and I've never wanted to share that. So then we have my home section. So I have a list of house projects. I've started to break down the house project of the shed winter prep and cleanup. So I just grabbed a sheet of paper. And then the rest of these are just lists of the things that you have to do to clean a room. So not necessarily that I do these every single time I go to clean the room, but just so I can look at it and be like, oh, how filthy is my room? Next section is my wellness, which does have my last of my top tabs, so far at least. And this section has my trackers that were from the front of my old journal. Not all of them are all of one type that I could fit them in the body, mind, and spirit tabs, so I just decided to keep them all together. I am still filling them in. This is my monthly tracker I'm trying for this month. We'll see how it goes. My body section. So this is all the stuff wellness related. Yep. This is all the stuff wellness related that I want to work on. Goes in either body, mind, or spirit where I can. This one is a collection of like a tracker for all the different areas, so that's why it's here. So I have just a basic list where I can write down any things that happen to, so for body it's physical stuff, like my son had a migraine, so I wrote that down. And I just set up for October because might as well. For mind, same type of thing, except it's for things affecting mentality. And then for spirits, Again, same thing. So yesterday I finally got my Witch's Moon subscription box. So I wrote down that I got that because I really just felt affected by that. And then the last section I have is my professional development section. So far this section is lists. I am taking 2 courses on Udemy. One is for spiritual life coach certification. And both of these I literally just wrote down the different like topics and things to watch and things I have to check off to finish the course. So I'm just checking them off as I go. And the other one is a holistic herbalism course. And that's it. This is the pocket that came with the Filofax where I've just got my stickers, and I use it to, because it sits so far compared to all the rest of my pages, I use it to easily be able to flip to where my extra paper are. So I have some stickers from the Prancing Doxy. I'll link it. They have amazing pagan witch stickers. And then I have a couple of pictures that I just love that were floating around on Facebook that I printed up. And then back here I just have all my extra paper. I have the remaining paper from the Filofax dated, which I'm going to undate and work on. I have the extra paper that came with the Filofax, and I have some of the paper from my Citrus Bookbindery book. I have nothing in either of my any of my pockets yet. I don't know if I will. And that, my friends, is the tour of my big fat Filofax. I love it. I love her very, very much. I'm so happy that I was able to find a way to film this and get this so you can actually see it, and I'm so thrilled with it. It's just so cool. It means so much to me to have this, so pretty pleased. Thank you so much for watching me. Please don't forget to check out any of those links down below in the description bar. While you're there, please give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. It lets YouTube know that you want to see more videos like this, and that my videos deserve some time and space and airtime here on YouTube sphere. And subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can come back again nice and easily. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, be safe. I hope you're well. Bye.